Our flag. Haven't had that mic on in a long time. Almighty God, grant us the wisdom to make those decisions that are in the best interest of all of our residents. May the Heavenly Father of us all bless those who have given the ultimate sacrifice in service to our nation, and may He watch over and protect our servicemen and women now guarding the gates of freedom. Salute to our flag.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you all. Just statement of publication, please.
Take notice that this regular meeting of the mayor and council being held on this 27th day of September 2021 has been advertised and posted in accordance with Open Public Meetings Act, Chapter 231, Public Law 1975.
Thank you. Roll call, please.
Councilpersons Conti.
Here.
Delina.
Here.
Enriquez.
Here.
Mar.
Here.
Novak.
Here.
Roberts.
Here. At this time, I'll ask for the approval of prior minutes. Council President Delina, please.
Thank you, Mayor. I make a motion to approve the minutes listed on the agenda.
Second. Roll call, please.
Councilpersons Delina.
Yes.
Conti.
Yes.
Enriquez.
Yes.
Mar.
Yes.
Novak. Roberts.
Yes. Thank you. Then, we have no proclamations or presentations for this evening and no need for executive session at this time. No, ma'am. Thank you very much. We'll move on then to old business, public hearing on the following ordinances. Jess?
Ordinance number 543-21, an ordinance amending and supplementing Chapter 14 of the revised general ordinances of the Borough of Sayreville to amend Section 14-14.9 miscellaneous fees.
At this time, I'll open to the public for any and all comments regarding this ordinance and this ordinance only. If you wish to speak, please step forward. Seeing none, I'll entertain a motion to adopt the ordinance. That would go over to Councilwoman Novak, please.
I move the ordinance be adopted in second and final reading and advertised according to law.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Councilpersons Novak.
Yes.
Conti.
Yes.
Delina.
Yes.
Enriquez.
Yes.
Mar.
Yes.
Roberts.
Yes.
Thank you once again. At this time, we're going to move forward with appointments for the Municipal Alliance. I am asking for the appointment of both Jean Marie O'Leary and Nicole Ranowitz for the Municipal Alliance. Can I have a second for that, please?
Second.
Is there, do we need to make a motion first and then,
I'll make a motion to appoint them.
and now a second? Thank you very much. We need a roll call for that.
Yes. Councilpersons Delina.
Yes.
Conti.
Yes.
Enriquez.
Yes.
Mar.
Yes.
Novak.
Yes.
Roberts.
Yes.
Thank you very much, ladies. We're now going to move on to new business, which is the introduction of the following ordinances.
Ordinance number 544-21, an ordinance amending and supplementing Chapter 2 of the revised general ordinances of the Borough of Sayreville to amend Section 2-31.6 and Section 2-31.7 regarding removal of trees.
That will be Council President Delina.
Thank you, Mayor. I move the ordinance be approved on first reading, advertised according to law, and a public hearing to be held on October 12, 2021.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Councilpersons Delina.
Yes.
Conti.
Yes.
Enriquez.
Yes.
Mar. Novak.
Yes.
Roberts.
Yes.
And now continuing with our agenda, we're going to move to the consent agenda resolutions. At this time, I will open to the public for any and all comments on consent agenda resolution items only. If you wish to speak, please step forward and state your name and address for the record.
I don't really have anything to say, but your website updated and all of the documents are gone. because now it says Tuesday, October 5th, 7 PM is your next meeting.
You scroll down, I believe it's on the bottom, right?
Yeah, probably because today is the date.
Yeah, so when you scroll down,
Oh, okay.
It's under
got it,
there.
Sorry.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you, ladies. Seeing no hands for any comments on consent agenda resolutions, then I will entertain a motion.
Thank you, Mayor. I move the public hearing be closed and the consent agenda resolutions be approved on roll call vote.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Councilpersons Delina.
Yes.
Conti.
Yes.
Enriquez.
Yes.
Mar.
yes.
Novak.
Yes.
Roberts.
Except for 2021-241.
Okay, thank you very much. I just needed to find that for a second. Borough Attorney, anything at this point?
No report, Mayor.
Okay, thank you. So I see that we do have a pretty decent amount of people here this evening. Because of that, I will turn around and ask my borough administrator to just keep a 5-minute time, so that way we can make certain that everybody here that wishes to speak has the opportunity to do so. So if, at this point, I'm going to open to the public now for any and all comments. You may step to the mic and state your name and address for the record. Yes. Oh, I'm sorry, 2 people, she's already moving up, so I'm sorry. Yes.
Do you mind if will I speak? Do you mind if is that okay?
Me personally, I mean.
I see others here without masks, so that's why I'm just why I speak. It would be, make it quicker. Thank you. Good evening, Mayor and Council. My name is
I
Karen.
did not recognize you, Karen.
It's the bangs. Don't even get me started.
No.
Good evening, everyone. It's wonderful to see you all in person. And I don't want to be a broken record, but I am here regarding the TNR. We had approached you at the Mayor and Council virtually on the February 22nd meeting this year, and you very kindly referred us to the Board of Health. And I'm assuming that you did get your notice from, or your letter from them to you all the last meeting 2 weeks ago. I'm going to begin where I kind of left off last time, and I really do want to address this problem. One that all of you, I think, or most of you may be familiar with as well. And we see them in our neighbors' driveways. We see them in our yards, behind shopping centers and restaurants particularly. We say maybe they must be theirs, or maybe some of us try to see if, if they're hungry. Maybe we don't see them at all and just pass by without a thought. Of course, what I'm talking about is the feral cat situation in this town. At this time, I'm sure you're well aware that we have Chapter 9, Section 13.1, that expressly prohibits the feeding of unlicensed cats. People aren't listening, and these things are happening. I mean, human nature tends to reach out. We see this. Cats are a domestic animal, as dogs are. Years ago, I've been in this town all my life, and there were dogs roaming the streets. I got a couple from, the, in that capacity that way, but that's been cleaned up. If we were talking about dogs here, I'm sure we wouldn't be having this conversation, because they did address that domestic species. Cats are a domestic species. I was very troubled to find out, as far as if you see a deceased cat on the road or dog, what's your first instinct? To call the police, right? Well, it's been 5 years since they had a copy of the contract, so I provided them with that. I will remind you that this contract, I do believe, has a breach in it, because it says that we have to have a TNR program in place. We do not. Officially. We do have AHS, and we have been utilizing them to an extent, and they've been very kind in picking up, and they pick up the cats, and then they drop them back off after they fix the cat. If we had an ordinance to kind of, something that it kind of seems like it's a don't ask, don't tell policy going on right now. If we had an ordinance that would give authority to the town when they see this situation, and the people could at least be addressed, perhaps given a notice that there is a colony, you need to make sure all these animals are tipped and fixed, because the population is incredible here. Based on the Alley Cat formula, it's between 6,000 and 7,000 cats in this town. The couple rescues that I know offhand, they've already did up to almost 200 this year, and that's just women with traps, wonderful people. Look at all these people here. That there is a very, very big problem here. I wouldn't be coming back and keep digging in at this if it wasn't. I've helped them transport. There's wonderful organizations up in Hillside that we go to for discounted vet services. We have 2 wonderful vets in town. It would be amazing to get them incorporated in some kind of program. We, the people, are willing to work with you, and I know your 2 concerns were money and liability. So, we have a CASA Coalition is a 501c3 that is willing to do the fundraising. We don't need anything from the budget at all. The other problem, liability, it's perhaps if we get to the point where we can have people sign up that they actually have a colony, have a hold harmless agreement in there, so that the town, hold the town harmless. Because whether you guys decide to address it or not, which I really hope you do, it's going on anyway. And the most, very important thing, which I was very surprised by the lack of participation perhaps with the Board of Health, we can have a healthier community. These cats are here. They're not going anywhere. They're growing, actually. If we don't take control of this, and these cats are not only, these cats are not only fixed, but they are vaccinated. So now that makes the community healthier because they're not going anywhere. Again, they're just multiplying. I have spent the last 8 months with people who are the boots on the ground in this town solely. And that's the one thing that we want to do. Focus on our town. I mean, it's great that people are doing this all over, and some organizations and people in this town are doing it in other towns, but we want to work with our government and do it for this town. Take accountability, take responsibility for what's actually going on, instead of just, turning a blind eye to it, because it's
Just
just,
hold for 1 second, because we definitely are over our 5-minute, and
I'm done.
I hear everything that you're saying, without a doubt, and I thank you all very much. And I do know that there's been quite an effort, and that's why we have so many people here. And I do want to applaud the people that have been working so hard. I know that I get a lot of the screenshots of calling for additional help, rescues in reference to coming together, and that's great. That's what we want here in Sayreville. I definitely want to make sure everybody has an opportunity to speak. I do want to give our attorney, though, an opportunity to speak a little bit on the actual contract that we have with Tinton Falls. I will say this on a personal level, I am a huge proponent of TNR. I absolutely am. I understand the importance of it. I know Denise Morgan has been working, she has been spearheading so much of this effort for a very long time.
she is the boots on the ground.
She is absolutely
And many of these
unbelievable.
ladies and
She is
men
the
behind
cat whisperer and so many other things, and I thank her for all the work that she's done. So with that, Mike, do you want to add a little bit more, because we did get more information?
Yes, well, first and foremost, with all transparency, my daughter is in her 4th year of veterinarian school. So I have adopted 2 cats, 2 dogs that have all been properly snipped or fixed. And being a proud zookeeper, as my daughter says, I did have an opportunity, and I was empowered by the borough administrator and the mayor and council to look at the agreements, because I think everyone who sits on this mayor and council dais wants TNR. And the question is, so we do have an agreement with the Associated Humane Society. Obviously, you all know it, it's a 501c3, correct? And in our agreement, they're strongly recommending the TNR. And so what I plan on doing, and I know that other people may wish to speak, but I'm not quite sure if it's necessary, I'm asking for authorization by this mayor and council to look into what remedies and, more importantly, resources that the town has available to complete, that I think everyone on this dais has, the TNR process and procedure. That being said, our contracts do promote that. They do promise that. So the next thing that, as a matter of fact, after this meeting, I will be calling the Associated Humane Society together with all the other vendors that we have, saying, hey, listen, how can the borough achieve its goal of TNR? for our feral cats. I think everyone on this dais also realizes that there is a need and a requirement to, take care of the colony and make sure that it's done properly. So I think every one of you all, and I appreciate you all appearing this evening, but your voices and your emails and your Zoom calls and your letters. So I know you had requested this in February. Between now and February, we have been diligently looking for the resources as well as the opportunity to TNR properly. That being said, this evening, I'm sure the mayor and council will empower me, say, Mike, you know what, go contact those people and see how we accomplish not only what you all want, but what this mayor and council want.
Can I just make one suggestion, Mr. DuPont?
Yes.
Can you please involve us in the community? We really care. We are the boots on the ground. We know the nooks and crannies and where they are.
What I'm planning on doing, to be honest with you, is giving you, after this part of the meeting is done and we all meet back there, I'll give you my card and my email. So you guys can all email me with recommendations and suggestions. But remember, be kind, with how many emails you all send.
Animal lovers are kind.
Remember
that.
sometimes revisit the send button and say, hey, listen, I've already contacted them a couple times. So, and I read all my emails and I will respond to them, but remember, just be kind.
I can also give you at that time a list. It's a little dated. It's 3 years. I've been trying like heck to get an updated list of all the lovely communities in New Jersey that have it. And I will tell you this, that the Middlesex County, the county freeholders passed a resolution encouraging TNR in 2017. So this list, and again, this is 3 years old, has all the towns on here that have adopted something, but you'll see the hybrid ways in which they've done this. Some are run by the Board of Health, some are run by volunteers. We are here for you 1,000%. We want to help tackle this problem that is only growing exponentially, besides what these amazing people who do amazing things. And I've even chipped in my time, other than being an advocate, to help be a part of that army on the ground, trying to get us to the point where the dogs are, where if one's missing, everybody's like, oh my God, and rightfully so. I thank you very much for your time, Mayor and Council.
Yeah.
God bless you all.
Thank you, Karen.
You're welcome.
And again, thank you. I know everyone who's here. I did not see Denise, though. I can't see with the mask.
She won't be able to be here tonight.
Yeah, understood. So please send her, yeah, I got you.
Thank you.
Send her my love and tell her thank you, and just thank you to everybody here. I grew up in a household with my grandmother. She literally wanted to save every animal, and I'm a product of The Price is Right. I'm sorry, but Bob Barker said it best always at the end of every one. It was have your pets spayed and neutered. I love Drew Carey, but it's just not the same. Here in Sayreville, that's how we feel. What I would like to do now, if the council does not mind, is actually authorize Mike to go and maybe meet with those people that are here regarding the TNR in maybe 310.
Yeah.
So that way you can gain, yeah. I wasn't going to say it, Mayor.
You know what? Let me sit down with Mr. Frankel and make some recommendations for the next meeting. And then if the individuals who are on this particular issue, if you'd meet me out in the hallway, and then I'll let the mayor and council, you'll proceed with your meeting.
Yes, I think that would be great if everyone's okay with that. Mr. Dupont, I would probably recommend maybe 1 or 2 point people so you don't get inundated with emails.
I'm only giving 2 emails out.
Very good. So if you guys, I want to say thank you again to everyone that came here tonight. It just shows that when you are an advocate for something, we do listen to what you say, and thank you. So I'll give them a few minutes, though, just so. You're very welcome. Thank you, guys. Yeah. So again, we'll just wait a couple more minutes so that way, I know that you wanted to come up. Did you want to come up now? Come on up. I get to see you in face-to-face now instead of on the phone. Go ahead, name and address for the record.
Taylor Bernowski, 71 Plasky.
Hi, Taylor, yes.
So I have a question about the Laurel Park neighborhood. So up Pine Tree and on other streets, there was permit parking. And recently those signs were taken down. I was wondering if there was a reversal of an ordinance and why that occurred.
Where in Laurel Park? But,
So,
because my
you know,
family lives in Laurel
You know,
Park.
specifically, one example between Spruce and Pine Tree, going
That little
up that
short-
hill where there's awful, cars speeding and stuff like that. There was permit parking because a lot of people would park there to grab the bus on Ernston. So that was
Okay.
to prevent commuters from parking in the neighborhood.
I'm trying to
those-
think where it is, but luckily I have a few
So
police
if
officers
you turn off
here.
Ernston, go into Laurel Park,
Yep.
up Pine Tree or Spruce,
Mm-hmm.
right in that area, there was permit parking, and there was signs there to prevent commuters from parking in the neighborhood during the day and grabbing the New Jersey Transit bus on Ernston Road. Those signs over, the past, I think, last week, were taken down. So I was wondering if there was a reversal of that ordinance for permit parking.
Absolutely not. I mean, I know that I was not here the past meeting, but there was definitely no reversal of any ordinance, and I hate to call out our police when they're here, but they're not traffic, I know, but they know traffic people, Dan. So if we, Dan obviously reach out to our traffic, to Sergeant Braille and find out what's going on, but I know exactly what you're talking
Yeah,
about.
and
Now,
I
it's-
believe the signs were also taken off if you, I don't know the street name, as if you're, going down Erskine and the second entrance into Laurel Park,
That's not
you know,
Locust, is
closer
it?
to-
Locust?
Locust. I
Maybe,
think the
yeah.
signs were also taken down there. So that was over the past week.
Yeah, I think I think Locust maybe I recall, but that was, because there's a commercial, building there, I think right on the corner, if I recall, it was like a real estate something. But definitely no reversal, so we'll investigate that, Dan, make a phone call for
But I
something.
watched as the signs were taken down, so just
Yeah,
wanted to bring
no,
that up.
definitely, it was so, who knows why or who knows, is it a TikTok thing? I don't know, I'm just about.
Stealing of signs and video recording.
Taken down in Woodside too.
They came down in Woodside too?
Before he was all taken off, I don't know.
Really?
Yes, the other day I noticed it too.
And we had a situation too, because I remember that this was brought up at the Board of Education meeting, that signs were taken down over on School Drive as well. And those were, then in fact, once it was brought to our attention, I brought it to your attention, those were, I believe, put back up. So, our police officers,
Someone from the borough.
and there's no work being done.
Yeah.
Yeah, who is, Dan, we need to find out, none of our borough employees were authorized to take that down, and
Because
there's
that's the
no
problem.
work
People
being
will
done
park
over
there
there.
all day, and then you have people visiting, or you're trying to get stuff done in your yard, and you have a car parked there that is there for 8-10 hours on end.
It's already tight over in Laurel Park as it is.
Yeah, it's already-
And there's not a wide enough, so we're definitely going to find out what's going on with this, and we might have a rash of signs now, this might be even bigger than TNR if we have signs coming down like this. We might have to open up 310 in a minute. I don't mean to make light of it, but I did not realize it. I was just there
Yeah.
a few hours before my meeting. Thank you for telling me
Thank
about
you.
that, Taylor. Anything else?
That's all for me.
Thank you very much. Sir? Name and address for the record, please.
Thomas Fritzen, 143 Main Street. I know I've been online a lot. It's the first time in a long time I've been here in person. I'm still not seeing any kind of movement, I think, as far as cracking down on the speed limit on Main Street. And it's very concerning now, especially since I have to watch my daughter walk from my house all the way down here to Borough Hall, and I see people ripping through Main Street early in the morning. So I just don't know if we can, I know we asked to reduce the speed limit, and that was kind of kibosh because the county put a kibosh on it, but I think we need to enforce more. And I have yet to see any kind of, I work from home, and I look out my front window all day, and I have yet to see any kind of police presence at all on Main Street. Maybe occasionally somebody will come and get a sandwich at the deli next door, but as far as that is concerned, I haven't seen any any kind of stakeouts or any kind of stuff, and it just seems like Friday, Saturday, and Sunday this weekend, it was like drag racing down Main Street in that one section.
I do recall the last couple of meetings when you had spoken. I know that the council had decided not to move forward. I think it was a $6,000 or $7,000
Yeah,
ask to
Yeah.
do the traffic study at the county. And I know that was the idea that we would try. I think it was Councilman Conti that had recommended that we try to handle this from an in-house perspective. So I don't know where we are with that.
Plus, reducing the speed limit doesn't necessarily, it's gonna stop the speeders.
It doesn't.
Yeah, that's,
But,
yeah, that's what we decided.
Yeah.
It's like, we need to, I mean, even if we dropped it to 25, we still need to enforce it.
I
right.
know that
If
we
it's
have
30 or
the
25, it
light-
doesn't make a
I
difference.
know, we've got the flashing sign over there now that you're speeding, it flashes red and blue lights like it's a cop ready to pull you over or something. So, once word gets out about it, maybe it'll help. But Sergeant Braille did say that he would get out there and he'd alert the supervisors to patrol a bit more. I'm surprised to hear that you haven't seen anything. So I will speak with him about it.
And I just, it's a constant.
Yeah.
I mean, somebody asked me, like, they needed to do a study to find out when the busiest time is and when they see the most speeding, and I could say, talk to me, because I see it all day.
You already did the study.
You know, in fact, probably standing here, somebody will rip by right now at some point while I'm standing here talking. But I just really want, because my concern is, especially now school's open and the kids are walking back and forth to school during the day and night, and especially morning-wise, it's dark still when they go to this bus stop, so.
Well, it's always a concern. I know, Mary, it's a concern for you because OLV, CCD, St. Stan's, we've already had. So I think that, Vince, we need to do better at this point and see how else we can tackle this issue. I know that reducing the speed limit is not necessarily going to answer that issue, but it might actually enable our police then, if we reduce the speed limit, that increases cost of ticket if caught. Might be sometimes the wallet is also the way to go if people know that they're going to get hit with a heavier, that's just me talking off the top of my head. So maybe in the
Well,
future,
just like
we
you
might
said,
consider
though,
that.
they've got to be out there enforcing it
Right.
to hit them in the wallet. So,
And again, I think if we start enforcing it and then word gets out that it's being enforced, then
Yeah.
maybe that'll also be a deterrent. Because I don't see anybody running through South River pretty fast, because I know they're pretty good.
yeah,
So, especially on their main street, so. just-
Right.
And I do want to say, I think it was the last council meeting, I was thanking, Mr. Conti for working with them, because I personally saw them ticketing a couple of people on Main Street. One on a Sunday morning when I was going to church, and one when CCD was going on, and you know what that's like. And I was happy to see it, because in all the years I've lived here, I don't think I saw a ticket handed out on Washington Road. And that was 2 separate times in the same week. But I haven't seen anything since then. I was hoping it slowed down. I did see that sign, flashing sign out there. That kind of draws your
that caught my attention quite a bit,
Yeah.
that sign there.
My attention as soon as I came here today, so, but obviously you can see, and we agree, we're gonna work with enforcement. I know our police officers do their absolute best.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure they
Sometimes
do.
it's very hard because they are spread out so much, but I have faith, Councilman Conti, that you will once again reach out
Yeah.
and,
We'll,
Make sure we
we'll
get-
keep at it, and we'll see if he's got any other ideas about it. I think the police presence is really the thing that's gonna help. Get out there and start writing tickets, and get the word to spread that they're serious about it. In my opinion, I think that helps the most.
Thank you.
and sometimes even just the police car itself
Yeah.
is enough to slow people
Parking a
down.
police car there itself.
Well, we should, you know what we should do? We should get one of those that we're getting rid of, Dan, and just park it in a spot with nobody in it, and just have the lights on there. Or, if somebody sees a cop car, they don't know if they're in it.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, Thomas, thank you again. Anybody else from the public wish to speak on any and all items? Come on, Taylor. One more
I
time.
actually want to piggyback on the traffic. I live on Pulaski. That street was recently repaved in the past 2 years. There's 25 mile an hour written on the street itself. It's marked.
Yep.
People speed unbelievable. In fact, just 5 days ago, I was taking a walk on my street, and not even a block ahead of me, a car was speeding, lost control of the car, crashed into a tree and a garbage can. If I were there, I would have been hit by that vehicle. I would say once every 4 months, there is police presence for maybe 15 minutes, and during that 15-minute interval, they do catch about 3 vehicles speeding, but it's dangerous. And there's a lot of young families on my street that have young children, and they would like to take walks, and they're afraid to take walks with their children. But the speeding, I would say there is also, unbelievable.
I concur. You know I live
Yeah.
right there. My
So
own children
it-
are on that road, and we do know that. But I will say, I do see our police, because I do
Yeah.
walk, and my daughters do walk. Thank you for closing that door. But I agree with you. We have a couple of hot pockets, and I know that our police try to target those areas where we do get that, we know that speedway and raceway, as soon as fresh pavement goes down, I know our officers go there, because that becomes the new hotspot.
And there, it's very infrequently. I work from home as well, and I
Yeah.
get to see now what happens during the day, and I would say maybe 2 times over the past year and a half, I've really seen police there. But it's bad. In fact, we're getting our driveway redone right now, and I can't park my car in the street because I'm afraid that I'm gonna get hit overnight. So it's a problem.
Understood. Vince, it's 2 roads for
We
you.
need a massive campaign to slow Sayreville down. I mean, it's a big area, right? And we don't have 20 patrolmen out all day long. We've got a limited amount. So I'm sure they're out and about, but they can't sit in a spot for 5 hours.
And I do know,
It's a catch-22. It's like you want to do that, but then you want to patrol. And I see the reports. They give out hundreds of moving violations on a monthly basis, hundreds of them. I think they gave out 500 over this past month. So they're out there, but I know it's hard, but it's needed. So I don't know. We've got to put our heads together and see what we could do.
it really is a crisis, and I want to say that it is not just Sayreville, because I do
Right.
speak with other mayors, and sometimes the smaller the town, the one street, they're all frustrated, because I think as a society, we are all in such a hurry to
Yeah.
go nowhere.
Yeah,
Like, we're racing around to get through our town or to get to a road, and we're really just forgetting that we need to remember this is a community, there are kids, there are families, and I think in general, we all just need to slow down a little bit. But that's not to diminish what you're saying. We do
I just
need
wanted to bring that to light, that it's, beyond Main Street as well.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the downside of paving the roads.
Don't
If you
even
left
go
them
there.
bumpy
Oh, it was
and
bad.
rocky, maybe
It
they.
even happened when our
Okay,
road was
moving on
shaking
before
the
Mr.
foundation.
Conti gets himself in trouble here. We love paved roads. Thank you, Taylor. Any other comments before we move on? Yes, Ms. Fritzen again. I did say that right.
I just want to ask the question and maybe get an answer. So is there a division between like regular patrol and traffic? Or is it all just one big police group?
Well, I don't think we have a separate traffic crew. We've got Sergeant Braille who's in.
We have a traffic bureau, we do.
But, I mean, I don't know what the numbers are, in the traffic bureau versus the patrolmen. I don't really know what the numbers are to see
Thought
how
most-
many's in each one.
In my criminal justice days, when I was taking criminal justice, I remember when we set up police forces like that, we had a section for just traffic, and that's all they did was keep an eye on traffic and tries, I guess maybe bigger cities, but this is a little bit different.
Yes,
'cause it's
sir,
big.
anyone can issue tickets, but there is as Mr. Conti was just about to say, there is a traffic bureau, just concentration on traffic issues and stuff.
Okay. Because they were saying that the way it was presented is that they're too busy out patrolling, but there's no that are just doing traffic.
That's what he's insinuating.
I just wanted to clear that up. That's why it sounded kind of edgy, but thanks.
Thank you.
All right, anyone else from the public wish to speak? Seeing none at this time, I'll entertain a motion to
I
close.
make a motion to close the public portion.
Second.
Roll call, please. All in favor, we can do all in favor.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Wonderful, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to move on to the next section of our agenda, so please rise once again for a salute to our flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, Jess. Statement of publication yet again.
Take notice that this agenda session meeting of the mayor and council being held on this 27th day of September 2021 has been advertised and posted in accordance with Open Public Meetings Act, Chapter 231, Public Law 1975.
Roll call, please.
Councilpersons Conti.
Here.
Delina. Enriquez.
Here.
Mar. Novak.
Here.
Roberts.
Here.
Any questions under old business, ordinance number 544-21? Okay, moving on then to communications and committee reports. We'll start with administration and finance. Councilwoman Roberts, please.
Thank you, Mayor. I have minutes and departmental reports to file, the municipal clerk's monthly report for August, and the CFO's investment activity report for August.
Second.
I have applications for bingo raffle licenses for St. Stan's and PTO Sayreville Middle School.
Any objections? Okay.
Okay. Notice of public hearing received from the New Jersey Transit Public Hearing Notice received for senior citizen and disabled residents transportation assistance program hearing.
Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you.
Okay, an authorization for the tax collector to refund taxes due to 100% disabled veteran and tax exemptions.
Any objection? Is that 1, 2, and 3 as listed? Okay, and anything under committee reports?
Well, just, I am looking forward to the 100th, to the centennial activity, so that's, looking forward to that. For the notice for the public zoning board for, oh, I have the date. I wanted to let the date, the transit information public hearing is posted, but the date's Thursday, October 28th, for anyone who's interested. There's 3 sessions. And I do have 2 things that were in our packet that I had a couple of questions on, if we might be able to get to the answers. And
Of course.
the application for the zoning for the singular wireless at 775 Washington Road, for preliminary and final major site improvement, there's a height variance, if so required. Is there going to be a height variance on Washington Road? Is there going to be a big tower or something?
I'll go to Jay on that. Jay, I know you know this answer.
There's an existing tower that's behind the Knights of Columbus on Washington Road.
Okay.
There were 3 antennas there on the top of the tower. One is being removed, one is replacing the one that's being removed. So it's a height variance, but the tower's already there. That tower, I think, is 125 feet high. This antenna was at elevation 100. So they were just replacing an antenna that already was there, but they had to get a variance because the antenna is not a permitted use in that zone.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure there wasn't going to be a big giant.
No new tower, it's there already,
Tower.
just another antenna being added to it.
Okay, because the detail wasn't in that document itself. And I did notice that there was a document for Pure to be an area designed for redevelopment area. So this is the first time it was in the packet about that area to be redeveloped?
So, anyone, Mary, the redevelopment agent?
I think
it was
it's on Dan's
in-
agenda.
Yeah, I think it is too. Yeah, Club Pure. It's under planning and zoning, I think, but it's in the redevelopment zone.
So just a
I
little
went through
background
Sarah
about
as well.
that?
So right now, it's business establishment was Club Pure, that's been closed. They're looking to put a self-storage company there, and, which is a good rateable, and, so they're going through the zoning board in order to do that.
Okay. Okay, and then the only other piece that was not in the packet, I did get a call from our previous mayor about St. Stan's upcoming car and trunk show, about having the bandstand available for them. Did he get through to the office today to ask about that?
You got through to me,
He did get, I thought so, he did text me that.
and if you want to bring it up, it's up to the council if they'll do that. So if the council would, willing to do the band trailer, they can do that. Just so you know, it's going to be a cost, because 2 people are going to be needed from Public Works to bring it over there, set it up, and for overtime.
Okay, with that understanding, is there any objection to the bandstand, I guess it's called, being used by St. Stan's, if they're able to?
It's the portable stage.
That the employees and probably insurance, some sort of insurance to hold us harmless if somebody fell.
So is there a standard for that?
Yeah, there is.
So, yeah,
There
if you
is.
follow the standard.
Yep.
So I just wanted to make sure that we were,
Other than another municipality, I don't think we've loaned it out to, you know,
I think this is the first time for St. Stan's, I think, yes.
Yeah.
But we've loaned it out to like the Board of Education.
Right.
So it's standard that we've done that with other in-house, you know, in-town. Right.
okay, so no objections?
Yeah,
They
no
can
objection.
Go ahead and do that, okay, and, I think that's it, and I just want to take note, this is the first time, I think, since I've been on council that I didn't introduce anything.
Now that will come back next time.
Thank you.
Tenfold. All right, thank you very much, Councilman. Yeah, you probably had a lot to sign. We're going to move on now to planning and zoning. Councilman Moore, please.
Thank you, Mayor. I'd like to move the following minutes reports be received and filed. Construction officials report for the month of August 2021.
Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you.
Fire prevention report for the month of August 2021.
Actually, you can do all three of those, I'm
And
sorry.
zoning and code enforcement report for the month of August 2021.
Second.
Notice to adjacent community property owner, notice of public hearing held before the Saraville Zoning Board of Adjustment on September 22nd, 2021, from New Singular Wireless PCS LLC for variance and site plan approval to install a telecommunications facility on an existing monopole at 775 Washington Road, Block 254, Lot 1.03.
Second.
Application for temporary trailer license received from Saraville Shopping Plaza LLC to place one construction office trailer on Block 368.07, Lot 2, 2909 Washington Road.
Any objection? Okay, committee reports, please.
Committee reports, just a few things. Last meeting, I proposed an ordinance for weight limits on Kendall and Creamer Drive. Dan, any update with that? Last you said you were talking.
I emailed you saying that we're still waiting for Sergeant Braille.
Yes,
Yeah.
that was a few days ago. I just wanted to see if there was any update
We're
from.
waiting for his report.
If I can just interject for a second, on Kendall in Laurel Park, there actually should be already weight limit signs that when you're coming on from Cheesequake into Laurel Park in that area, I know that there are weight limit signs there. I pass them every day. One of the things that I think we should also entertain, though, is the possibility of a little bit more signage, and we'll look with Sergeant Braille if you can ask regarding, resident through traffic only, or something a little bit more restricted in addition to the weight limit. Something similar to what we did maybe over in the Main Street townhomes when we had discussions and the residents came out. I think it would probably be prudent to do that ahead of time rather than waiting until later with anything else that may be coming down the pike. So please ask Sergeant Braille what we can do legally over there to make it very clear that we're trying to restrict as much truck traffic through that area as possible. And probably best to do that at both ends of Laurel Park. So that includes where we were talking earlier, Locust and Pine Tree, as well as over at the Kendall entrance as well.
Thank you, Mayor. Next, Soup Kitchen 411 and NJ Feeds is coming back. It's the grant where they pay our restaurants to feed our community. We only had 3 restaurants apply last time, and they were paid thousands of dollars to cook hundreds of meals for our residents. So we are looking for more restaurants in our community to apply. And I believe our social media director sent out something already to email her, and something else should be coming out as well as far as a deadline. And lastly, thank you to Elise Barone, the high school ROTC, the Scouts, and our Public Works and Parks people. They picked up 32 bags of garbage at Kennedy Park over the weekend, and they are preparing our town for Centennial Day. So thank you to all of them, and that's it, progress.
Thank you very much, Councilman Moore. We're going to move on to public safety.
All right, thank you very much. I move the following minutes and reports be received and filed. Municipal Court report for the month of August 2021.
Second.
Board of Health Registrar and County reports for the month of August 2021. And Police Department report for the month of August 2021. All right, we've got a letter of retirement as a firefighter from Michael Dandorf from Saraville Engine Company number 1.
Second.
I want to wish him great success in retirement, and thank you for his service. We've got a letter of resignation as a firefighter from Christopher Kaiser from President Park Fire Company number 1.
Second.
And we've got an application for membership as a firefighter received from Nicholas Napolitano, accepted by Morgan Hose and Chemical number 1 at their August 5th meeting. And Ryan Zori, accepted by President Park Fire Company number 1 at their July 6, 2021 meeting.
Okay. I have no objection to that.
All right, so just a couple of things. So Michelle, I want to tap into that from Elise and the team out cleaning up Kennedy Park. I saw the photos that she shared, and they did a great job. I love to see, people coming together and for such a good cause. So I want to thank her and the entire team that worked to clean it up, and certainly looking forward to Centennial Day. Damon, I don't know if you're going to mention any of this stuff. I don't want to steal it from you, but I do want to thank the Public Works. I was at paid a visit to the South Amboy Irish Festival over the weekend. I saw our stage there and some of our police officers there as well. So I want to thank them for helping out a neighboring town like that. I have also talked with, I did talk with Sergeant Braille about a couple of other things that we're working on, and he did mention to me that he worked with the schools and the principals do some creative things to alleviate the traffic, because I know that the first week of school and a little bit into the next week, traffic was awful, but now it's non-existent, which is fantastic. So I don't know what they did together or what adjustments they made, but it's terrific. I want to thank him for coordinating that with the schools. Now, at least I know the schools on Washington Road. I'm not talking about every school. Those are the ones I go by every day. And he did, we were talking about that right turn on red at Ernst and Washington, and trying to come up with some ideas for how we can maybe make that sign a flashing sign or something, so that people don't make a right on red when the children are present. So we're going to talk about that a little bit more and see what we could do. And I know that he did put up the flashing sign on North Ernston, which I know Ruth Ann Mahoney was happy about that, and Jim and so on. So I was glad to see that, and glad to see the flashing signs in other places too. And we'll still work together on that and try and do more for speeders. But I was happy to see some progress at least with that. And that's it. That's it for me. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Councilman Conti. We're going to move to Recreation. Councilman Enriquez, please.
Excuse me. Thank you, Mayor. All right, I move the following minutes reports be received and filed. Recreation Department report for the month of August 2021.
Second.
All right, we have applications for a special event received from the following: St. Stan's Church to hold a car show on their grounds on October 16, 2021 from 12 to 6. We have Broadway Tattoo Lounge to hold a grand opening at their new location in the parking lot of 2047 Route 35 South on October 9th, 2021 at 1 p.m. And Suburban Youth Soccer League, New Jersey to hold a soccer tournament on October 30th, 2021 from 9 a.m. to 8 p.m. at the Jerry Us Recreational Complex.
Any objection? Okay, committee report, please.
All right, just a couple of quick dates. Of course, this Saturday, October 2nd, is our centennial. It's a pretty much all-day affair. Everybody please come out. We have a lot of great things going on. We also have on October 9th, Hit the Bricks, and October 29th, our Halloween Trick-or-Trunk. And still, we got the Parade of Lights in planning now. We just haven't set a date for that yet, and progress.
Very good, thank you. Lots of things going on this month, so I hope our town really comes out to celebrate with all of us. Thank you. We're going to move now to Water and Sewer and Environmental. Councilman Novak, please.
Yes, I'd like to make a motion to receive and file the minutes of the departmental reports listed on A1 and 2.
Second.
Okay, committee reports.
Not so much, I really jinxed it by saying how God was being good to us. Well, we have a rather large water main break over by Alaqua and Driftwood. The hole in the road is quite substantial, and I was told that it should be water to the residents should be restored by tonight, and the road will be temporarily filled and then permanently restored. It'll take a few weeks for that. So sorry that I jinxed everybody by saying how well we're doing with that. I really am very looking forward to Centennial Day. I want to thank the girls who worked so hard on it. I think really it's going to be very well attended, just like our National Night Out that we kind of brought down because we didn't think a lot of people were going to come out and it was breathing along.
Yep.
And the car show that the police department had at the VFW this past weekend was very, very well attended. So that people really are, we're chomping at the bit to go to these things, and I'm very excited that everybody has worked so hard. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We're going to move now to Public Works. Council President Delina, please.
Thank you, Mayor. I move the following minutes and departmental reports listed as A1 and 2 be received and filed.
Second.
Other than that, I'm looking forward to Centennial Day as well. I hope everyone in town is able to attend with that progress.
Thank you very much. And for my report, I do have just a couple of things. Just to keep the centennial celebration and reminder going, ladies, and to everybody that has worked with you, thank you. I know this was not an easy task, but I'm certain that it is going to be a well-attended and a very, very festive celebration. So thank you, and thank everybody that you've worked with especially. I also have a couple of other thank yous. First, I want to thank Haral Shah from Parlin Pharmacy. He has worked with our community, the Board of Education, along with Dan, our senior center, in order to bring vaccinations, COVID testing, and flu shots to our town. And he continues to do so. His goal is really just to try and make Saraville as safe as it can possibly be. He has given thousands upon thousands of vaccinations, like I said, flu shots, and he's bringing them to our seniors. He's working with us, and he's actually going to be at Centennial Day as well. He wanted to be able to set up the opportunity for people there. If you bring the vaccinations, hopefully people will get them, and I thought that would be wonderful and great. He's really, on a personal level, just very phenomenal man. Now, I did miss Monday's first in-person council meeting, and I just wanted to let everybody know why. I was, on Monday, informed that I was a close contact to somebody that had contracted COVID. One of the things that I definitely did not want to do was come to a council meeting, the first council meeting, having only received my rapid test, which was negative, and I wanted to make certain that my PCR test did come back negative as well. Thankfully, it did. With that being said, I would really like the council, and Dan, if possible, I would have preferred to have done that meeting virtually, because the last thing that I want to do is not be here to do my duty. But I also know that a lot of residents would also like to be here, and right now we don't have the opportunity to afford them that remote capability. I know it's a bit of a heavy lift, but can we please get Tom to look at that, find out what that overall cost is going to be? I know it's going to take some time, but I just feel like now, one of the things that we've learned from COVID is we want to be open, transparent, and give people as much opportunity to participate in government as possible. And get their voices to be heard. So if the council doesn't have any objection to that, I would really like to task it, Dan, and I can see the poor ladies here. They work so hard, and I know how frustrating and difficult it is, but I really think that we owe it to our community to try to provide that hybrid model. Because again, I did not want to take out half of my professionals and the entire council. So I chose to stay home to keep everyone safe, and I'm certain there's a lot of people that wish to participate in discussion about different things, and they can't be here because they want to keep us safe as well. Does anyone have an objection to that?
I wonder if grant money would be able to cover something like that. COVID funds that we received could be used in that fashion.
However it needs to be done, I think we need to first entertain and get a full assessment of what needs to be done, get a dollar amount and the amount of work that needs to be done, and then I think we should entertain the different ways in which we can afford to do that. So that way we have that ability to be more open and transparent. I'll call you up in one more second, because if I forget, so don't go anywhere. I'm going to open up again to the public in a few seconds.
Vic?
Yes.
Denise, can we use any of that $5 million we got for that?
I don't believe so, but I know, isn't that crazy?
Keep asking.
I know, it's crazy. So let's see what we can do in order to try and make that a reality. In addition, I did have a request from some high school coaches over here with the Board of Education, and I thought this was a great idea, and I told the individual, I told Miss, well, I won't say who it is first, because I'll let you guys hear the idea first. They are requesting to get permission, and I know we're going to have to go through JCP&L in order to do this. They wanted to hang some Bomber Country flags from our poles, either on Washington Road or Ernston Road, in order to really just commemorate that roadway and to show some, high school spirit. Many other towns do this. They kind of had the flags that come down and, letting people know that you're in Saraville and we are proud of our schools and we're proud of our community. And I thought it was a really unique and clever idea. What I would like to do is before we even approve it, we would have to obviously get some information to see if we're allowed to hang things on the poles. I know how that works and it takes some time, but I thought that I would try to expedite this. In the event, and I know, Dan, you're gonna reach out to, who is our friend? Jim Markey, to find out if in fact they're okay with doing that. If they don't allow us Washington Road, maybe a different road, maybe Ernston Road, or maybe even Main Street. I would prefer not Main Street because it's so far away from the schools. But does anyone on the council have an objection with looking into that? Trying to accommodate that request in order to show some true bomber spirit. And then we can further discuss it. If it gets approved,
We've brought this up before with doing something for veterans or, every third pole. But yeah, when I drive into town every day on my way home from work and I see the track kids running to Wawa, I think something like that would be nice.
right, and I was even thinking, you look at North Ernston Road as well, maybe there would be, I know that we're not even allowed to hang any banners on Washington Road over by the school. There's lots of trees, there's lots of wires and so forth, but maybe we can find a place that would be most appropriate. Obviously, we would bring any of that back here to the council to approve, but I'd like to authorize Dan to at least reach out to Jim Markey and just see what their take on it would be. Any objection to that, to at least having that conversation? All right, wonderful, thank you. That does it for me, and it's very good to see you all again. I know that we're wearing our masks. Please stay safe, and with that, we're going to move on to the rest of the report. Business Administrator's Report, Mr. Frankel.
Thank you, Mayor. Authorization to execute a discharge of mortgage for property located at 3 Cambridge Drive.
We're going to let you go straight
Okay.
through. If anybody has objection, they can interrupt as you go.
Authorization to award a non-fair and open contract to TK1 Solutions LLC for network and proprietary applications maintenance in an amount not to exceed $51,975. Authorizing the submission of a grant application to the New Jersey Department of Transportation for the Safe Routes to School program for the Saraville School Transportation Safety Project. Authorization to execute a memorandum of agreement between the Borough of Saraville and the PBA Local 98 Patrolman. Authorization to amend the employee handbook to add policy number 1.27, time management. Authorization to, and this is, I wanted to add it here, authorization to, we have to finish our website, so this is for our communications director to be paid up to $1,000 per month for no more than 3 months to complete the website design system. Resolution received from Sarah requesting the borough to explore whether the real property located at 1970 Route 35, Block 425, Lot 202, commonly known as Club Pure, may be an appropriate area for designation as a redevelopment area. I'd like to read you a memo, or partial of a memo that was sent to me by Chief Zabrowski in reference to a 10th dispatcher position. He says, for future consideration, please consider the introduction of a 10th dispatcher to complement the current group of 9 full-time employees. As noted in his correspondence, we are facing increasingly difficulty in maintaining an active inventory of per diem operators. Currently, we have 3 per diem operators, one of which is only a trainee who assists with filling time absences through the work schedule. Unfortunately, their full-time work schedules and family obligation limits their availability to fill certain absences. Further, the instability of maintaining a complementary inventory of per diems also leads to a lack of consistency in performance. Additionally, please be aware that 2 of our full-time police communication operators will be absent for extended time due to serious medical issues. We will do our best to coordinate with our current group of per diem operators to fill these absences. However, the remaining openings will be filled through a combination of rescheduling our full-time staff and overtime. As you know, the health emergencies are unforeseen, and we will do our best to continuity throughout the schedule. So this was a request made from the chief to hire a 10th operator, communications operator. I'd like to know the feeling of the council.
couple are out on,
We have a couple of long-term meetings. It's more than a couple weeks.
so when we're talking about filling in with full-time, that means a full-time long-term or a full-time temp? Or is that?
Well, per diem is the
The temp.
is the temp, and then when a per diem can't do that, then the full-time person would create overtime.
Do we have the cost analysis of the overtime, and is it a positive at this point? And if the two that come back full-time, are we going to be over? I guess those are,
Are we going to be over?
right, we're gonna have more than who we need, so we can eliminate per diem then at that point.
Well, we don't eliminate per diem because we need the flexibility of scheduling and of vacations and of sick time, and so.
But we only use per diem when we need it,
Correct.
right? So this other person could lessen the per diem expenditures, I guess?
I think it makes a more consistent type of operator than the per diem, and it puts someone on a schedule. And it's somebody who's a per diem right now who would like to be a full-time communications operator.
So we're down to, we're bringing in one more to cover that down to.
But we would be, yes, but we would still increase the size from 9 to 10. We're not going to, just because we give someone as a full-time now, we're not going to reduce him to a per diem.
Understood.
We're gonna bring on a 10th operator,
Do we have
at least what the
funds to
chief
do
is
that?
requesting.
Do we have the funds? Okay, I see her eyes going up, so I think that should be.
We
Well-
always budget for overtime for part-time dispatchers.
Yeah.
So I think we'll be okay. They're per diem anyway, right? You're saying?
The,
They're current per diem, but once
they're currently per diem, but they're requesting for a full-time operator.
we have.
So
to
on top of
then-
the salary, you have benefits and
We got all the
pensions.
benefits.
And plus the benefits we have to pay, correct?
So
That could be a problem.
so an existing per diem would be moved to a full-time,
They have identified a per diem that would be moved to full-time, correct?
and would we have to backfill more per diem?
You always want to have a good
Good pool.
stable of per diem. They're hard to find. And there's a lot of training that goes into it.
Sorry, this is a difficult question, it makes perfect sense, but long-term, 5 years from now, probably still makes sense.
Yeah.
Because of the overtime and the backfill.
Is it a decision that has to be made right now?
Why don't we?
No, the decision doesn't have to be made
Can we think
immediately.
about it until the next meeting, please?
Yeah,
Would they be able to provide us an analysis?
I can ask for an analysis, sure.
Thank you.
Dan, I hate to go back. Authorization to amend the employee handbook. I didn't see it in here, and I was looking for it again, and I can't find it. Was it in there and I just missed it?
Yeah, it's in the,
It
it's in
is?
the back.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I must have went right past it, I'm
Do
sorry.
how much do we pay another, somebody in this position?
Sorry.
You're probably looking at somewhere with benefits, somewhere in the $65,000 to $70,000 range.
Yeah, so we really want to look at that.
Okay.
Right, with, what Denise was talking about,
I think it's doable, we just want to know the numbers.
Okay?
And Dan, can I ask a question? I didn't see it, you mentioned about the website work before you went to planning and zoning?
Right.
Um,
I just had a conversation before the meeting that our website wasn't complete, and I want to get that completed. So we had talked about that previously, probably in March or April, and in order to get this done, Tom Bracken just does not have the time. And I see this as just as a way to complete it.
Okay, how do you see it going so far?
It's been slow because Tom has not had the proper time to dedicate towards it, so I'd like to get it finished.
Okay, is there anything that we here can do to help support him in any way?
Probably giving him 2 more employees.
That's the answer at every organization now, yeah.
I know. No, he's really running around as one person right now.
Any chance that maybe the council will get a sneak peek at how that's going at any point, or?
I probably could, or we can anticipate waiting a couple months and see it in full-fledged, in action.
Okay, let's give him, good job, and attaboy, because I know he's doing a lot of hard work on that.
Yep.
Because there's a lot of moving parts on
There
that
is.
website and a lot of room for really good progress, and I think the community is looking forward to that.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, so at this point, then, you have your answer in reference to the
Right.
chief's question, and we're going to move on. I believe you left off at public safety. We need to go through the vehicles.
Right, authorization to scrap the following unusable vehicles and equipment. That would be A through G. Award contract for senior citizen windows. Bids are being received on September 28th, and if all's in order, would like to award the contract at the next meeting. Authorization to purchase the following vehicles from Hunter Truck through Sourcewell Contract 060920 PMC, a 2023 Peterbilt 520 tandem automated truck in amount not to exceed $325,357.29. I can just say it?
As listed. so
As
save your
listed.
voice.
Save my voice, thank you. Authorization to purchase one Ford F-450 from Winter Ford, as listed. And just one more note. Mary, I need, if you can, to supply me with a couple of dates and times for.
You said tomorrow.
I know one problem is that Dave Leitner is called in sick this evening to me, so I don't think he's gonna be in tomorrow.
All right.
So,
Like they said, I'm available after 5:30, which I know puts a strain on you, but I am available for calling all day long.
so it's 5:30 in the evening, any evening?
Any evening.
Okay. Okay, so I'll set it up with Denise.
Call during the day.
Well,
During the day.
I'm sorry, you're available for the call during the day?
All day, yeah, on the phone.
Okay.
Just because I don't have a sales email account right now. It's bound, I don't know what happened, but when that all changed over, I was deleted. So anything you send takes about 24 hours to bounce to my AOL account, which I'm not crazy about.
Is there something we can help you with Tom to come in?
All I'm
With
saying
Tom
is
to
give
come
me
in?
more than 24 hours notice if you're gonna do it by email, because it takes that long. So I can't read.
Okay, we'll check with Tom about your email though.
But if, just a couple hours if it's a text message.
Okay.
Leave it on your phone or
My email only shows up, the sale email shows up being forwarded to my AOL account, and I cannot return any of it unless I return from my AOL account, which presents a problem.
That's it, Mayor, thank you.
Thank you very much. We're going to go over to our CFO's report.
No report, Madam Mayor.
Oh, wow, thank you, Denise.
So just a comment for that, Denise. So we still don't know anything about the 5.9, huh?
Other than what Dan and I have seen, which is very vague. I've reached out again to our financial advisor to see if she has received any additional information. But other than the initial rollout, it has been far and few in between. Like, I don't receive any emails, I receive nothing from that, the initial, announcement and everything. But I'm going to at least touch the interest.
So, because I keep
Vince,
asking.
Vince, most of the municipalities are having difficulty.
I
They're
know
they're
you
afraid
said
to
it.
spend the money unless they know that they're not gonna come back and bite them. So we're all looking for some kind of guidance, and the guidance has been very slow. We think there's some projects especially in water and sewer,
Yeah.
that we think that would really fit the bill nicely. But that's something that we want to talk to. Mary's the head of water and sewer. We want to talk to her about, and if that moves forward, then we can also talk to the council about maybe spending some of that money in that area. I'm not saying the other areas don't deserve it. I'm just saying is that we feel comfortable that it won't come back to bite us.
What I hate to break this on, the HVAC unit and all the air handlers in the police department isn't covered by this?
The problem is that we have a 35-year-old system. The new system would not be covered. You could probably cover some of the extra filtering system that you would put in to the air conditioning system. But it's minimal compared to the whole system. It's just minimal.
So, Dan, I ask because if we can adjust some of the other expenses and use the 5.9, then we still have to contend with the fire department and the need for the ladder truck.
But this money, right, so this money can't be used for a ladder truck, right,
It
but,
could be used for other things that are in the budget, so if we drop down what we've got a bond for, because we were able to use that money, and we've already budgeted for that, and we take it out and we use that 5.9 to cover a water department expense, it frees up money in the capital
It's-
budget.
it's a possibility. We gotta look at what we can spend the money for.
No, I'm not saying but it's in the capital budget.
Water capital is different than the others, yeah.
So if it comes out of the capital budget,
It would be, you'd wanna look at something, specifically what you're saying, you'd wanna look at something in the sewer department, which comes under our municipal budget. The water would be separate. So for an example, if you wanted to put in some additional sewer pumps.
Oh, yeah, I got
Or
it.
something like that versus putting in, water meters. I mean, water meters would be water, sewer pumps would be under sewer. So we'd have to just look at that whole,
Okay. Borough Engineers Report, Jay?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. One item, the Oakwood and Scheid Road project is completed. We're recommending closeout and also a change order with a net reduction. So I need resolutions at the next meeting.
Absolutely net reduction. I'm just going to piggyback before we move over to your report, which I'm assuming you don't have one, anything for us, Borough Attorney? You're done? I just wanted to make a quick announcement here in reference to our PSE&G milling and paving schedule, which was a massive project for this year. I have a list here. We're about a quarter of the way through with the projects that were going to be done for this year into the spring. And I just received this from Dan that we have approximately, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 roads left that are full paved with this project to hopefully, if the weather holds out, we'd be looking at completion of the full project by spring. Is that correct?
correct.
That is a lot of nice black surfacing put down on our roads, which for our police and Mr. Conti, that means we'll have a lot more patrolling, but it's going to be smooth and pretty on about 13 more roadways coming soon. With that, we're going to move over to, no need for executive at this time, correct? All right, we're going to move to public portion. Taylor, as promised. Thank you for your patience and remembering your question.
Thank you. I just wanted to mention, I know I've heard at several meetings about, moving to hybrid, and it's a complicated matter. In my place of work, we were doing hybrid before even COVID was a thing because of different coworkers that were in different state offices. I think it's a really easy solution that if you already don't have the materials, would cost, in the couple $100 range, not in thousands. I'm sure you have a projector or a TV that's already in the borough, a laptop, and just a camera. So we can have the camera on the council. You have a laptop that projects the audience on the screen. They can see you at home. We could see them here, and that's it. So if you need a volunteer to help you, I'm a techie myself, but, I think it's an easy solution that isn't something that we should be scratching heads for. That's something that, could be done by the next meeting.
I'm hoping. I know that Tom's worked on it. I know that there's been I
think he just needs a camera and a laptop, and he's good to go. I'm not sure.
We're definitely.
He might need some help.
We're definitely interested. I'm pushing for it. I need it. I want it. I think it's important.
Yeah,
So whatever the cost, I think we need to entertain that, without a
So
doubt.
just wanted to say that. It should be
Thank
something
you,
that, takes 20 minutes.
Thank you. Anybody else from the public wish to speak?
Make a motion to close public hearing.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Second. Very good. All in favor? All right, ladies and gentlemen, have a great evening. Stay safe.
I guess I'll find out.
Oh, thank you.
Simple stuff.
Okay, no problem. He's got to run. His wife is found out. Oh, don't forget the bit. Wait a minute. You're welcome. Happy birthday. Many more.
Oh, sorry, Denise. It was in our other meeting.
Leaving my keys.
Good night. Happy birthday.
know that, some